Freedom of Information Act.
Oh, I know, I put in a vote.
But I'm gonna find my notes.
Gail, did I include you in the email?
Yeah.
I did. Do you want me sending this stuff to your Limerick mail or your Gmail? Because I have both of your emails in there. And I'm never sure which one you actually use.
Well, Gail.Lilly,
Yeah.
Debbie was forwarded to where it's supposed to go when I check what the deal is. So until one of my fixes that, please send it to my girl.
Okay.
Or whoever one gets, or somebody who can
Yeah, well,
change.
I have both.
Microsoft.
I have both in there. I was like, you know what? I know you'll, or I was pretty sure.
I
you
read
did.
that one all the time, but I go and check public access, because I know some things come to Gail.Lilly, they're not coming.
So you did get the financials.
Yes, I do, thank you. And I'm sick and tired of fighting for things, and I'm gonna stop, because I'm
Exhausted?
exhausted, there's so many things wrong. And Cheryl, Judy is the security officer for Trio. She's the one who gives passwords and user IDs for Trio. I don't have one, and I've never had one. So when she tells you that I do,
She didn't tell me.
okay.
I had someone else tell me.
Judy,
No?
because
No.
Judy is the one
Yeah,
who
there's
does.
3, possibly 4. The 4th one I
Well, they
wasn't quite
don't
sure.
know what they're fucking talking about.
Well, there must be something more going on. I'm just trying to
Find out.
I'm finding
You
out.
talk to Judy, she is the security officer for Trio. She signs people in, she gives them the modules that they can go to. I've been a security officer for $1 million and billion-dollar companies. I know how it works. I do not have, nor have I ever signed in to Trio. So when you're selecting, please talk to Judy. Both.
About what?
Security officer for Trio.
Oh,
So you understand.
Glasses.
I know I have them. I know I do.
If I hold it far enough apart, I can have them. Be Brady.
I hate having to have.
And when anybody feels that their password has been compromised, they should change it, because even Judy doesn't know their password. Okay, so that's what people do in organizations that are run well.
Just check the dates on it. Yeah, it is a problem. Yeah. Fixed, it just had to be checked. And then check, you can look through them all if you want to, check the last page and the date. Got it in the sheet? Because I think the key has to law.
She gave me something else that wasn't good.
Yeah, that's real good. Okay. Last week. This is not. Okay. All right. Now, you go to.
Cold, Gail?
This is when you start.
Howard, you got a minute?
Hi. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, this
But
one's.
that's, oh, yeah, see, because that one has the NA. Oh. Okay.
Well, he returned that, that's the message
Yeah.
returned that he sent me. Okay. But she's making sure. And so I can hear. This is the one that, I asked for in terms of the executive session. Yes, they told me to.
Anybody touching that bag, I'll break their fingers right out. Better silence the
It's a little chilly in here. You have a thermostat in here?
Times ahead,
It's
bud.
cold.
Times ahead.
Oh, it's gonna be a heat pump. I don't know.
You already voted?
I voted no.
Why?
I'm kidding. I didn't vote no. Why do you still have the third? Did he just quit?
Town, what?
Parsons Field?
No, town,
Oh,
ACO.
personal.
Personal. Which I've already told him if I send you a, if I send you a text that says SOS, I said, call my dog phone. That means I gotta leave.
It's freezing in here. How was your Christmas?
Good, yours?
I worked. Good, nothing.
I did it, it's my fault.
Okay.
I'm hiding it.
What, it had your name on it? Oh, you can sit in that one. Use that one for your desk.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's me.
He's sassy.
Nothing doing.
I'm gonna go. It's freezing in here.
Why are you still only 3 things.
Yeah, the ones that are in there. Fire department, EMA, and another one.
There's only 3 of them. What was the problem with the fire department?
We just never really did it. What are we gonna do about that? No RFPs from the auditing firm?
None?
Nope. No, one called and asked questions,
Oh, that's what it was.
but nobody submitted anything. Yeah. Good evening. The time is 7:01. Welcome to the December 30th Board of Select Persons meeting. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I look for a motion to accept the warrants.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? I look for a motion to approve the December 1st meeting minutes.
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor? And would somebody read the announcements, please?
The town clerk and tax collector have resumed normal business hours on Fridays. The municipal building and transfer station will be closed tomorrow, Wednesday, December 31st, and the library will close at 12 p.m. The municipal building will be closed on Thursday, January 1st for the holiday. The planning board will meet on Wednesday, January 7th at 7 p.m. The Budget Committee will meet jointly with the Select Board on Monday, January 5th, and Thursday, January 8th at 7 p.m. The Select Board will hold a community workshop on Tuesday, January 20th at 6 p.m. to discuss community involvement in the $75,000 grant we are working on. The workshop will be hosted by the York County Soil and Conservation District. There is a public hearing for Libby Fruits on Monday, January 26th at 7 p.m. The public is urged to attend, and the Select Board is looking for members to join a comprehensive committee. If interested, please contact Alicia, 793-4475, or selectboardadmin@limerickme.org. And as part of the hearing, a citizen policy, no personal attacks on any individual or firm, including town employees, town officials, or members of the public, will be tolerated during any meetings. Please direct concerns about individual employees or town officials to the chairman of the Board of Select Persons outside the public meeting. Please stay current with town information by visiting www.limerickme.org.
Thank you. For department reports, I have Stan Hackett, our code enforcement officer.
Stan Hackett, Code Enforcement Officer. My final report for the year of 2025, building permits revenues was $141,843.36. Business licensing, which is cannabis or dispensaries, $17,833.31. Less the state fees and surcharges of $3,810. came to a total fees collected $163,486.67. We've issued a total of 169 permits. 5 of those were voided. So the total permits was 164. Single-family home dwellings that we've issued was 45, and then 1 duplex, so 47 dwellings. Everybody knows that we did get a moratorium for larger subdivisions. Coffin Hill Road property was sold, which is about 150 acres, and 105 lots are proposed to be divided there. Currently, we can't do it because of the moratorium until we can review the ordinances a little bit more. Secondly, Emma's Way was completed. The road commissioner and I met on site several times to ensure that the road was built to road standards. It has been and is completed. Frank Carroll Jr. has sent us a note, which I believe I emailed the board, with an intent to donate it to the town. I did apprise him that it will not go to warrant until June because it was too late to get it into March's. And he will also have to prepare a deed that once, if the town does accept it, then we will have to have a deed that the board will sign. Nextly is 236 Central Avenue. We did find that when DEP was here, they tested the well. They also tested the well next door, which is her father, Jerry Gilpatrick's. Jerry has an artesian well. They found no contaminants. They only found bacteria, which is conducive to a crack possibly in the casing. The dug well that is at Jessica's site, 10 times higher with TCE levels than acceptable measured. So DEP would like us to install a filtration system, which I've also forwarded to the board. We know the design of the filtration system and the specs. They would like us to do the bidding or request for bidding. They provided the town with 4 different main DEP vendors that do these installs to help control the cost. They also wanted to monitor the bids as they come in, because if they come in too high, then DEP will step in and renegotiate those bids for us. But I would like authorization to put these out to bid and present them to the board when they arrive. But I think a time frame for rebids, considering the new year, if we start, is by January 15th or January 20th would be appropriate to receive them back. Currently, 236 is getting water delivered by Poland Springs to accommodate their drinking water. But they do not have portable water currently. But this filtration system, and I have the designs, if anybody did want to see them, I can provide them. But the design has 2 blue tanks as well as a charcoal filter to get rid of the TCE. So what would the board like to do? I, again, be willing to do the request for bids because I have the technical background with DEP and the contacts. But again, it is up to you guys. You can do the bidding if you wish. Everything will be presented to the board and continually communicated with. So,
I'd say let him do the bidding, and we'll review them and award the bid.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
so we'll move forward with that next week. Today, the Grinnell came in to test the sprinkler system, and it did pass this time. I did make sure that the water pressure this time recovered within the sufficient time to recover. The last time it did not, which posed an issue with the sprinkler system and fire protection. Also, we've had multiple calls with 3 Division Road. This is an ongoing issue not only with myself, the town, the attorneys, but the abutters. And the state police have communicated with me via email after this situation and said they are not going to enforce it because it's a civil issue. I don't want to get into a, pardon the expression, a peeing contest with them. It is under Title 17, which is the criminal section, and under my training, they have to enforce it. But versus that, I did inform the colonel they have to protect the property. So if the property is broken into, they will respond. The last time somebody was at the property was the other night, right after the storm, and they retrieved a generator off the porch. The police did not go to the property, so I did to ensure that it was not broken into, but I did find tracks to the temporary carport, which houses a pop-up camper, which is all upright and ready to use. And allegedly, that is one of the areas where drug activity has taken place. So I did inform them of that as well. I spoke to the attorney. I would want to recommend that we move forward with the intent to demolish the building. I think we've given enough time to have the property management company and the mortgage company to step up to the plate. Before I go any further, the property management company did correspond with us a week and a half ago, and they stated they needed more time to discuss the actions. So today, we sent them an email saying that we're out of time, we need an action plan, and we need to move forward, and we hope that they would step up to the plate. The town has done the worst part of it. The building is vacant, and we intend to keep it that way, so the mortgage company does not have to do an eviction. And that's what I explained to the attorney. And then he came back and he said, well, you can't just demolish it, you need a court order. That is not true either. I checked with MMA. We can demolish the building. Normally, the process is because it's an imminent danger of something, but that is, again, the choice of the board. We can get a court order to demolish it. I can't tell you structurally if it's imminent danger or not. I do know that there's allegedly drug activity there. I do know there's biohazards there, and I do know the house is full from floor to ceiling, and you cannot move in that house. So structurally wise, I can't tell if the structure itself is compromised. You can't access the second floor. The staircase was removed, and it's full of black bags. The basement, my understanding was, through conversations, is we can't access that because it's full of black bags. The trailer that's in the front yard is full of black bags, and the pop-up camper in the portable garage is half full of black bags. So accessibility and the dangers of what these structures are, I cannot testify if it's imminent or not, but it is a danger and a risk for first responders.
How can it be a risk if they're out of there?
I'm sorry, Howard.
How can it be a risk if they're out of there?
Well, it's not a risk to them at this point, but it's still a public risk because there's ongoing activity, and it's happening later in the day towards the evening hours. I know there's been some alleged claims that there's people there and lights on in the windows, but I haven't been able to verify that. There's been no footprints or obvious signs of breaking in. So that I can't prove without a doubt, but there is activity there, and activity at night is usually drug activity and ill-intended. They did arrive a little after 4 o'clock the other night, so the trooper said it wasn't dark. I said, but that was beyond sunset, and they are not allowed on the property at that point. They told me I needed to post the properties with no trespassing signs. I've sent everybody the pictures. I posted the property and the building all the way around. So then we got the email that they will not enforce it. I believe that they're discussing they will not respond to a call there if the activity's outside, but they have to if they're called. That's the other part of this coin that doesn't add up. So it may be just the individual trooper that I was communicating with that evening. So,
Sheriffs can't respond?
I'm sorry?
Sheriffs can't respond at all?
The sheriffs don't have jurisdiction. I put in a call to Bill King. He referred me to the second one down, and I'm waiting for him to respond. He usually contacts me via email. They will aid. They will. In regards to public safety, I know they will, but they don't have the jurisdiction without state police approval. But I've requested on the town's behalf that in this situation, state troopers give the authority to the sheriff's department. So I think they'll do that. So, and that's a reasonable request. The attorney did give us some options. We can request MSP or Maine State Police to take efforts to prevent illegal activity on the property. We don't want to end up in a pissing contest, again, pardon my expression, but that's just, we don't want to end up debating back and forth of who's going to respond and how quickly.
If they can't get in the building, were they just outside after 4 o'clock?
This activity was outside, but there's footprints leading into the pop-up camper, and that you can't secure because the whole upper half that's set up is canvas. So they can open it, they can unzip it. We just don't have a way to secure it. There is no signs that they broke the padlocks off the doors, and there is no need to put plywood on the windows, because even if you got through a window, you're not going anywhere anyway, because you have to go through a mountain of stuff to get there. The only access that is clear is the front door, and the path, as you've heard, is very narrow. I would say about my width, because I can touch things as I walk to where they sleep. The homeowner still says this is all lies, but it isn't lies. We visually have seen all this stuff. So that one of the other options, since the activity was lately or recently evolving around that pop-up camper, is to remove it. We do have the authority to remove the trailer and the camper. We can, again, seek the court order. The other one he offered, which I don't like, is the town ends its efforts in doing the civil side. I think the civil part is combined with the town's effort in condemning the property. I don't believe that the abutters should be responsible in taking legal action against their neighbor, especially when we have all the facts and we have.
Back when we had the hearing on all this, the attorney said that they had to go before a judge and get court order and everything else if they weren't out of there. And I thought after that, it was a done deal, we're gonna go in and level the place.
But, and I don't want to, I might as well spill the beans a little bit. I'm not really comfortable with their knowledge of municipal law. One of the things that was a flag, he asked me for my book on guidance of dangerous properties today. All right, so, but we do not have to go to court. We can demolish the building. It's usually done in extreme cases, and it is a no-return situation. So if we decide to do that, it's an end to an end, and there's no turning back.
You know where this guy went?
I'm sorry?
Do you know where this guy went?
He's in, the owner,
Yeah.
he's in rehab. The girlfriend, I don't know where she's living, but he did call, and he started to cry, and he said, well, I'm going to end up in a homeless shelter. My response to that is the town or myself, and I know Alicia's been involved with the GA stuff, I got him veterans information, help. I got Susan Collins involved, and I got Community Services and Biddeford involved, and they denied it. So we went above and beyond. We can't get too much more involved without assuming some liabilities. But as you know, I'm part of the town, and I make every effort to help every individual in this community in any way I can. And I would rather pursue that than I would legal action or action of this nature.
Now, did he ever reimburse us for that, all that junk we took out of there?
He never reimbursed us for that. This is the other keynote that I asked the attorney to communicate with Guardian, and he did send a letter to Guardian, who is the property management company for the mortgage company, and he did inform them that time isn't available at this point and the town wants to move forward. I did ask him to remind them that any costs this town incurs, we expect and we will recover through an assessed tax. So he did not do that either. But so if you decide to move with, or we can wait until next week, but if you decide to move with demolishing the building, you already know you'll have to put that out to bid because of the cost involved. But delay the actual demolishing until we give Guardian, the property management company, until next week to respond. They're not going to respond this week because of the holiday, but trying to persuade them to take possession of the property and do what they need to do. We have vacated the property, so they do not have to do that. And at this point, it's a prime opportunity for them to save whatever investment that they have in the property, because if we demolish it, naturally, they're not going to have any more investment.
Could we start the process of getting bids, just so we can have the ball rolling? I mean, just because we're saying we're getting bids doesn't mean that, we're going to demo it, but we can, in a week, if Guardian says, you know what, we're not going to do anything, we have the bids lined up, ready to go.
Your order specifies you do have that authority. Again, and it probably would be a good idea then, when you discuss this to determine what avenue you want to take, you'll have some numbers. So yes, by all means, you can start the bidding process, the sooner the better. But I think, again, in my own personal experience in dealing with a double homicide in Leamington with a similar situation, time is more of importance than waiting. And this is colder weather, and people that don't have homes will be seeking shelters where we don't want them, so.
Pam, do we have an order for demolition?
I'm sorry.
Do we have an order for demolition?
Yes, we do. On November 3rd, we had a public hearing. The homeowner was not able to attend, but the public hearing, we went through listening to testimonies, both by emergency responders and the abutters and myself. The board then decided to condemn the property, and under the condemnation in that order, also allows the town to demolish it if it isn't abated within a certain amount of time. And at that time, it was 7 days.
Was the mortgage company given notice of the public hearing?
The mortgage company did receive copies, as well as the property managed property. One of the stipulations, and we followed the guidelines under the dangerous building statute, is that all parties of interest need to be notified and an opportunity to testify and an opportunity to abate the issue. So the 7 days expired. They have, by law, 30 days to appeal those expired. And repeatedly, I had told everyone, you need to appeal if you want any chance, and they still failed to do so. Right? The other thing is that they have 21 days by law to retrieve their personal belongings. So the process it takes to get the bidding and that stuff will be beyond the 21 days, because we started that already when we secured the building, and Ricky and Charlie helped secure that building with padlocks and latches. So, but
I thought they vacated the property now. But
they vacated, but by law, they have 21 days after they
obtain their
vacated to
personal
retrieve
property.
their personal belongings.
vacated, I would think they'd take the personal property with them.
No, well, there's a lot there. And so by appointment, I had been unlocking the building and allowing them to retrieve certain things. This morning, They didn't show up, and by the time I got back here after unlocking the building, I got a message saying that they couldn't make it, so I had to go back and relock the building. So, and one of them is not as pleasant to deal with and accuses me of making my own schedule. I don't. I try to accommodate people, but it has to be reasonable. If I'm on an inspection or doing something, I can't just drop what I'm doing and run over there and unlock the door. So, and the first time she attempted to stay there and we were approaching dusk, and I did warn her that she would be arrested if she goes in that house. So she left. It's not a nice thing to do. Nobody wants to do this.
Well, I mean, no, but to me, it sounds, we've crossed our Ts, we've dotted our Is, we've made enough attempts, we've done the public hearing, we've done what's needed. I think it's time to move forward with getting bids to demo the property.
About 70 days since this process started. I've had enough.
Yep.
I really have. I told them the other day, and they were brazen enough to pull in the drive, pull up, back in, do whatever they're gonna do in that damn shed, load a generator up. I called the state police because it sounded like they were breaking into the house. I follow them around, 4 state troopers. Had the guy pulled over. They do a goddamn fucking thing. They gave him a verbal warning for trespassing. The gentleman didn't even have a legal state driver's license. But of course, the state troopers don't want to do their job, so they let the lady in the car drive the vehicle off.
I had a conversation with Stan earlier today, and I mean, my frustration as well. I mean, I was at the fire station one night, and there was state troopers that were going to 3 Division Road, and they were gonna drag the people out if need be. And then I got that same email today saying that it's a civil issue, and they're not, the state police won't do anything.
We can't even let our kids go. I mean,
So that we don't get into conversations that may be liable, the town has done everything and gone above what we need to do to try and help and mitigate this issue without demolishing the building. I will, and I know general assistance will, do whatever we can. General assistance is a very temporary fix, so what they need is a more permanent one. If they're willing, I will try to help them find shelter. There is places for them. But again, the efforts so far, they have denied and don't want to do it. But they cannot go back in that house.
But right now, they legally own, well, he legally owns the building, right?
No. The bank owns the building. The bank foreclosed on the building in 2020. So again, what no bank wants to do is go through the litigation and the expense of evictions. Those can be very timely and costly. Linda Corbin's the only one I've known ever push for an eviction the way she did. Most of the time, they take 90 days at minimal, and usually it could be 6 months, and depending on the condition and the homeowner has a medical condition, it could take years in court. So they're out of the house. This is the prime opportunity for the bank to take possession if they're still interested. If they're not, the clock is ticking, and in the meantime, if you wish to do the bidding to demolish it, then we can move forward. Because we still have about a week and a half or 2 weeks, without looking on my calendar, I can't tell you the exact date, of the 21 days that they have to remove their personal belongings.
why are we still giving them 21 days?
But
Because we're at like 70 days since this whole thing started. We all know that everything in that house isn't worth shit.
Well,
So they're just using it as an excuse to come in there.
I
and
understand.
waste time.
I understand the 7 days was to abate or clean up the property,
Yeah, that's
okay?
back in August.
The law says particularly they have 21 days. So we don't have a choice. If we don't do these things right, the town is open to a very, very, very large liability lawsuit. And you got to remember, there are other circumstances that, again, because of HIPAA, I can't divulge in this case,
I'm
but,
not asking you to divulge it, we're just asking for some resolution.
but
Because the mortgage company didn't even, he hasn't paid on that house in 6 years. 6 years, he hasn't sent a nickel
Well,
to the mortgage company.
the
The
bank,
mortgage company did not show up in the meeting at the fire station. Obviously, they don't give two shits about that.
we,
They don't care.
Sean, we understand that. The issue, the town has to follow the law in order to make this work, okay? And the frustration is, as I just explained, is there's been one delay after another delay, and time isn't,
A bunch of crackheads that are playing the system because they know how to play everything, is the problem. And nobody wants to step up and tear that piece of shit down so the neighborhood can be safe. I can tell you right now, if that house was beside the town attorney or beside any of you guys' places, that son of a bitch would have been torn down and the town would have put up a fucking playground.
the town,
You know, I'm tired of it.
I-
I pay my fucking mortgage. I pay my taxes. I work hard. And I have to deal with that smelly house next door. I have to deal with the rats. Chad deals with the rats. The lady across the street that used to help him, she's dealing with the rats.
Yeah.
The place is infested. It's a mess. It stinks. Let's bulldoze that piece of shit to the
Yeah.
ground and be done with it.
so as you just heard, and again, this is frustrating for you more so than it is the rest of us, but the town, again, is moving forward with getting the bids to demolish, all right? That will allow that 21 days to expire, right? These people know the system better than we do as far as what they can get away with and what they can't. So we can't afford to make a mistake. So move forward with the bids as they ask, they can do that. Now we're prepared to have that information on hand. And at that point, you can give the order to demolish the building with whoever you decide, right? But my concern is, and again, with the experience, and I know first responders have seen the same thing, is the activity is more at night, and that is not a good thing. That usually is indicative of a lot of bad doings and promotes danger to the public and the neighborhood. So I would like to see it mitigated. If we can't resolve it by cleaning the property up properly, then my recommendation is to move forward and demolish it and be done with it. The bank has been given an opportunity. We're giving them a few more days until next week to answer. If they don't, then the board can decide.
The way I'm looking at it, we've got an investment right there. I mean, we get a ton of attorney's fees.
Yep.
We've got cleanup fees.
Yep.
We'd be better off to go in there, get the dumpster and put a crew in there and clean that place out.
Well, and
And see,
again,
and see if we can turn around and sell it and get our money back. Because you know damn well that right now, once that's gone, that's leveled, we're never going to see any money out of it. The town's got to recoup the money that they put into that thing.
well, again, you assess the taxes against the property. So any additional charges the town receives in cost, it gets assessed as a tax. So the bank or the mortgage company has been paying those taxes. And if we end up auctioning it or not auctioning, selling it at market value, we will retrieve what monies we have into it. As you've seen in the past year, these properties at less than a half an acre have been going for $60,000. So
Have you been the only one that's talked to this guardian, or has the attorneys talked?
the attorney has as well. Yeah. In fact, that's why I
Something's wrong
asked the
there.
attorney to send them a final notice urging them to come up with a time frame that's more reasonable than we need more time. So it wouldn't hurt to put your request for bids out. It would be just one more step closer that if we get to that time frame, then you can make a more educated, maybe something will change. Maybe I'll have some more information and more options. But if we keep delaying, and I indicated to the attorney, is if we don't use the proper language in these notices, which he softened one of my notices, they have a right to know that ultimately the town can demolish that property. So he removed that. They need to know that. If we don't get this resolved, the property is going away.
Sam, does the town own the property or does the lender?
The lender owns the property.
So we could fine and put liens against the property, so when the bank auctions it off, the liens would get paid back to the town.
Correct. Whatever, if the bank decides to sell it, we still have the lien because the town takes first priority, all right? So the town will get whatever money is available first. The other option is through the demolition, we can, again, very easily in a court order, this is actually not as long in duration, take possession of the property. So I wouldn't recommend that because I don't want the town assuming the liability of whatever this property may have or had on it. So, but,
I'd say about time we kick this attorney in the butt and tell him to get moving or get out, one or the other.
well, I
'Cause
did
these
make
people
that
put up- Like he said, they've been on 70-some odd days, not mention how many days before that.
Hey.
This is a
Hey.
bunch of crap.
I never had that issue in Leamington. When we dealt with it, it was a very speedy process. I did talk to another person today and said, I'm not really comfortable with these attorneys, and there's been more stalling than anything, and I know we try to take a friendly approach, but the situation is just escalating to be
gone too
more of a
far.
nuisance. So it may be I can utilize a different law firm like Parkinson's out of Kennebunk or Bernstein and Shore, or maybe the town would want to change law firms altogether. But if I do that, the ordinance allows me to do that, but I would ask the board for permission to seek a different law firm.
The only problem with that is you're starting over again.
You wouldn't be starting over because everything we have is filed at the registry of deeds and we have all the notes.
Well, there needs to be some pressure put on there, there's no doubt about it.
So, but that's another option. And I haven't chosen to take that path, and I don't want to do it without informing the board and asking the board to do that if we need to. But I don't want to stall anymore.
All right. First, I want to go back. I would look for a motion to allow you to go out to bid for the DEP wastewater. So if somebody on the board wants to make a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. And then, would you be able to handle getting the bids for demo, or do you want us to advertise them as normal?
I can, again, I don't mind doing it. Just be aware, you're going to be in loop 100% of the time. As you
I
already
like
know, I
that.
send you repeated emails. So, because the ultimate decision is you guys, that's not mine.
Okay, then, with that being said, I would look for a motion to authorize Stan to obtain bids for demolition of 3 Division Road.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Discussion?
No, I was just gonna tell, if there's anything I can do to help with
Okay.
that or advertise this, let me know.
All those in favor? All right. Thank you. Do you have anything,
So,
Steve?
one other thing is, we've been lucky in the last 4 years, me going through some of the files downstairs and through some of our map files, we're starting to put the trail of the TCE contamination and the dump sites together. So we know the original landfill that's on Central Avenue was one of them. There was a suspicion that it got moved to where the cap is. That isn't true. There's another spot towards the business park and over by the salt shed in those areas. The best part is, once we get some more testing done, then there are funds that will take care of this. So that's what we're trying to do. And the other side of this is we're also trying to get the federal side involved to expand the water district with no cost or little cost to the town, up Central Avenue and to the business park. So those are the things I'm working on, and I do send you guys emails on these things. So if you have any questions or any other information, I would appreciate it, DEP would appreciate it. We made a lot of progress. And the other thing I did recommend, there's a lot of people that have been here most of their lives that have memories and recollections of a little piece here and a little bit there. And this is how we've pieced this together, is to have a sit-down brainstorming with DEP here some afternoon and bring this all back together, because that little memory may be a little kilted, but it will tie a piece that makes sense. So we're not saying, well, it's here, it's there, or it's there. So,
Awesome. Anybody have any questions? Stan, Steve?
Yeah, Steve McLean. Stan kind of touched on it, but on that 236 Central Ave, that's where one of the old dumps were. So is that whole, have they tested yet, or are they gonna test some of that area to see?
that is the exact site of the
Right.
old town dump.
Okay, so it probably can involve a few other houses along that stretch.
One house is directly on top of it.
Right,
And then Jerry's house is to one side of it.
Right.
But the dump actually went backwards and up.
right.
So Jerry is safe, but where Jessica's house is, it's sitting on top of the dump.
Right on the edge of it, because I went up and talked to Alan Chamberlain about it. He
Right.
knows exactly where it is.
Right, so that's, some of that stuff is starting to come out.
I don't
and
know if, I
it's
don't know
in
if
there.
Alan can get around or not now, so.
Again, one very important thing that I forgot to mention, where Jessica is, it's surface contamination, so it hasn't sunk into the ground. So that is another major catalyst that probably things were removed, but there was enough there that now is just sitting on the surface of the ground, or surface water rather. But in ledge rock, it has gone to the bedrock. So that has broken and seeped down. So
Where is it broken down? What area is it broken down, you said?
over the TCE, over where ledge rock is.
Where is Ledge Rock?
The
Business
first
park.
Business lot. in the
Wedge,
business
Wedge,
park.
yeah, Wedge Rock, right, or is that what it is? In the,
Directly
now
across
we're in the
the old
business
Hall
park.
Okay,
We're in the business park now, which we knew, because they were doing sites in there.
okay.
But I was talking about Central Ave, and that's where the old dump
And
part
and
was.
there is another map that indicates a town dump right on that site. So, again, we haven't put all the pieces together, but maybe when they removed the old landfill from Central Avenue, instead of putting it where we thought is the cap, it put them in place there.
You can find they just buried it.
That's right.
Well, and it was buried, I do have records that there were cars that were buried there too, but again, that's,
I spent about an hour and a half up there talking to Alan Chamberlain about it one day.
I would like to get a bunch, you and Alan Chamberlain, Leo there, Joanne, a bunch of people that have been around to do some brainstorming, because we have a lot of information that I think if we spill it out, we can actually put this to bed and move forward with the Superfund and get some things resolved.
I think Alan's the one that can pinpoint it, because he hauled a bunch of stuff in there from the old mill.
And again, back then, there was no regulations, okay?
Oh, I know
So,
that.
and we're not finger pointing, we want to find the resolve and the answers so that we can mitigate it and take care of it. So I don't want people blaming people. We know individuals involved, we know Alan Chamberlain was a foreman at the mill, I believe, at one time, or something like that. So we do know those things, but it's not trying to put blame, it's trying to resolve it, and then we can move forward, because without knowing the extent of it or the length of it, we could extend the water district a little bit, or we could add one filtration system, but there could be 5 other places, or it could go another mile. The issue is if it gets into the bedrock or the stream area, and we're surmising that there's a crack in the bedrock, which is very possible because of the activity in the area, that it's traveling back and forth. So those are the things we're trying to put to bed. And if you have the answers, then everybody can move forward. Oh, I have one other thing after we do this subject. Tufts Road, we got a complaint on Tufts Road, which is a Leamington road, and part of it belongs to Limerick. We have one resident that belongs to Limerick. We have a contract with the town of Leamington that they will plow that road, and we actually do most of Sedgley. So they did not plow it. The excuse I got was we didn't pay the bill, so I checked with the treasurer. She wasn't aware of it, but we haven't paid the bill from 2023 and 2024. 2024 and 2025. So she said she was going to do the checks. I did inform Leamington. I said, if you really need to check that badly, I'll run it up to you. They said, put it in the mail, but I said, I have filed a complaint with the Maine Transportation because they abandoned the road that they legally have to maintain regardless. They own 90% of that road. So there is a resident there. If we had an emergency call, that's just not acceptable. And it isn't. There's a liability there, and I did inform them that, but they, the acting road commissioner was out sick today, so I'm hoping he'll call back, but I did talk to the deputy treasurer, and I talked to the town manager, so.
That road has since been cleaned up, correct?
What's that?
The road has since been cleaned, our portion of the road?
Yes, Ricky took care of the sanding and stuff today.
Okay. Thank you, Ricky.
But there is, and everybody knows this is why you do the snow plowing contracts. There is a huge liability. The town is responsible to make sure that all roadways are safe for passage. So, and
All right.
so anything else on that? I did tell Ricky if he heard any more complaints to let me know, and I'll take it a step higher to the state, because it's just not acceptable. And
Yep.
anything for me?
I don't have anything.
Nope.
Thank you. Sounds like you've been busy.
Thank you, and everybody, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Put 2025 to rest. All right, that is all I have for department reports. I will open it up to hearing of citizens. Yes, go right ahead.
Y'all might want to stay. They might want to stay.
I can't kidnap anyone.
My first suggestion after all of this, we really need to get different counsel for the town, because with the lender owning the home, the people that were in the house were now became tenants. They were not homeowners. With abandoned property, it's 14 days to remove property, and they have 7 days to provide notice that they will be getting their property. So that aside, and that's something that I deal with my job on a regular basis with a lender. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is on October 1st, the board signed a contract with Bridges for plowing and sanding and salting. He's not sanding. He's using stone dust. It's inadequate, it's inefficient. Dole's Ridge is horrible, was horrible all day today.
I addressed that this afternoon. He's not using sand. That was a case where he couldn't get it out of Dayton Sand, where he's been buying the sand, and Carol's let him load his truck.
That's because they can't get rid of that stuff fast enough, but
I don't know what case, but he said, I told him it's just not to happen again.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those, we contract with him. He's not abiding by the contract. But thank you for addressing that with him,
The
because,
2 complaints on it this morning, and I followed up on it. I went down there and looked at everything, as well as going on a couple of roads and seeing a bunch of stone.
yeah, and it's bad when the dirt roads are in better shape than the asphalt roads. So, just
That's
saying.
been dealt with.
So, okay, that was all I had.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I hope, as, you know, speaking on behalf of the Budget Committee, I'm looking forward to getting stuff taken care of next week. Just saying. Get it done.
Is there any other hearing assistants? Cheryl? Yeah.
Couple questions. Warrants, when you accept the warrants each week, that means that they've been signed and they're public knowledge, correct?
Yes.
Who posts them on the website?
I do,
Um,
once I get them from Julie.
Okay, so once the board signs them, then you've already got them from Julie and you can post them?
No, I have to get
Oh.
I have to get a copy from her or a hard copy, like emailed over.
Oh, you don't get one when they get one?
A lot of times, they don't get signed, Howard doesn't sign them, he signs them after, like the
Yeah.
next day he goes in and reviews them. So then when I come in, I have to then get her to get them out, get a copy.
Okay, how about the minutes?
They're me.
Okay, because you're accepting December 1st minutes now, and here it is, almost the end of the month.
Yeah, but they just have December 15th.
And the 1st? Okay, and those will be posted also?
December 15th minutes aren't done yet.
Okay.
I just
Is there any way that the warrants are public? I have to wait for them to be on the website. Can I go and get a
You
copy?
can FOA them from Julie, yeah. Or get them from Julie whenever, yeah.
Oh, okay,
You can get them sooner than I can,
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
yeah.
Any other hearing assistants?
I brought up a point about the sand and the salt and that stuff, but, you know, it goes back to when you do a new contract next year, which this one will be up. You've got to put back in there that you got to put up 2,000 or 3,000, whatever we want of sand.
It is.
Okay?
It
No,
is in
it's
the
not.
contract.
No,
It's
it's
in
not.
there.
It's in there.
It's in there.
To put up 2,000 yards?
1,000 yards of that, and it also
It's in there.
says salt and sand.
Whether it's being done or not, it's in there.
Well, I didn't see it. We had good discussions about this the last couple of years. I thought that was taken out because the wording was that the prior contractor had to deal with Carroll material. He could go get it at any point in time. So this is what we run into. It's a holiday couple of weeks, and where they get the sand was an open. So that's why you run into this problem over the weekend. And we had a good ice storm. Brady well knew about it. One of the roads that we went on was pretty bad. So luckily, nobody got hurt.
I drove my truck right off, my brand-new truck right off the road because it wasn't sanded.
Straightaway, Brady.
Yeah, I hit the ice. I
You
mean, it
failed to
wasn't.
negotiate a straightaway.
Oh, yeah. It's so
anyway,
funny,
nobody
so
got
funny.
hurt. But anyway,
$33,000, so funny to make jokes about.
the other thing is, the town ought to thank Carroll
I know what's
Material
in there.
again. They brought up, I think it was 10 ton or something, so about 5 yards. About 5 yards of sand, salt mix, put it up there, because that last pile that I had them bring up there was, we had a bad storm over the weekend, so people were up there, so they brought some of them up, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, and I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll remind you when it gets about half, and then we can keep it plenished, so.
I went up and covered it, I had it all tied.
Page 16 of the contract states the 2,000 yards. You want to look
Okay.
at it?
Yeah, well, has anybody been down there to see, who on the board's in charge of the plowing contractor?
They all are.
They all are, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is another perfect example. I mean, it's bad enough when there's 5 part-time, there's 3 part-time members. I work a full-time job and other jobs. I will be honest, I don't have time to go to the salt and sand shed. We pay a contractor $400,000 a year, and this contractor has been great. He reached out to me, asked if there's been any complaints. I told him of the complaints that I've heard, I've gotten as I've gone through, and so I assume that there is 2,000 yards stockpiled. But no, I have not been down. I've been down there once this year, and I got questioned as to why I was in there.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know. But that's that, and that, my second part of this stuff was, I read in the paper the complaints about plowing are going directly to the contractor. Well, any complaints about plowing for the town should go to the town. Because when you renew a contract, just like we have a liquor license renewal, right? Oh, anybody have any complaints, you know what I mean? How do you ever know if there's any complaints? Because you gave his number, so they'll call direct, because like last year, John handled the complaints about the roads. One of the, you know, it should come through Alicia.
It should go to the town, so the town has a record of it.
Yes, and that's the proper way of doing it, so then you have a record, all right, like the, all right, so.
I think we all agreed to have that number posted. It wasn't just posted
Well,
for no
that's fine,
reason.
but it still should come to the town, you know.
And I
what
mean, I know, I still
was gonna say,
I still get the complaints. I mean,
I've got plenty.
yeah. And when Alicia gets them, she does forward them to the select board, and I make an attempt to reach out to Mr. Bridges, or if somebody else says they've taken care of it, they reach out and.
Yeah, all right, I'm just saying, as far as protecting the town.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This weekend, they were out of sand, okay? So that's what put us in a bind with the ice storm.
The contractor was out of sand?
That's why,
Well, that's the first time I heard of that,
Down there
so.
this afternoon, there's no sand in that bin.
they just, you know, Dayton Sand and Gravel is where he usually gets it, okay? And of course, you had Thursday, but most people were closed on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, okay? So that's what created that problem.
He said he was gonna send 2 trucks down to get,
Oh, yeah, no,
Stuff,
but that's what he's
Dayton
been
was
doing.
closed,
I just don't think it's ever been, it hasn't been the last 3 years, I don't think it was this year, we didn't put up 2,000 yards, because we haven't used 2,000 yards yet, okay? But everybody's in the same boat, I deal with every town all over, they've already gone through half their pile, all right? And this doesn't look like the next couple of days they're gonna get any better for stuff, so it's just where we got caught with our pants down on that deal. And the salt, when you had a storm like that, doesn't amount to nothing. All right, it's sand, it's
he's having
grit.
stuff brought in tomorrow morning, so.
Yeah, so
He's having sand brought in tomorrow morning, replenish.
he'll replenish it, but, you know, we just shouldn't have got caught.
No, I mean, they put something on the road. I don't care what they put on the roads, but there was a big deal made in the previous years.
Well, that's the thing.
Of
You know
what it
Under
was,
the
so.
circumstances, it's better than saying, hey, we didn't have anything.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so kiddos for her, all right, here's the alternative to what we can do. Because you know what? Outside of Brady's mishap, we didn't have any major accidents, okay, in town. So it worked out.
Is there sand now behind the Bricktown Hall?
Yes, that's what I just said. We replenished it today.
And when did that happen?
This afternoon.
1:30, 1:30, about 1:30 this
I
afternoon.
went up there numerous times when there was
No,
no.
at 1:30 it arrived.
Okay.
All right, we got on the same Carroll material was closed. So
We went there too.
So my son Michael finally got, Ricky was tied up. Because I know Sunday it was getting down, but that original pile's been there for the last 3 weeks. So next year I'll start my little band in October to get it up there. We were behind the 8 ball this year. That's fine.
I spoke with someone at Carroll Materials. We have a plan for, to work out next year to possibly get something put up out back of this building so it can be monitored on a daily basis. Cheryl?
Well, we put it here, we gotta check with the DEP.
Yep.
Because over there was fine.
I haven't read the contract recently, but I can be wrong, but I feel that I remember that there is nothing in the contract that says that stone dust cannot be used, because when Medici had done the Cesario contract, it was all stone dust that they used, 100%. I may be wrong, you can check
Says
into it.
specifically salt and sand.
Yes, but it doesn't say in this contract, no,
It doesn't have to say no, it says you will
in
use
previous
salt and
contracts, in
sand.
previous contracts, whatever, anyway. So, and cute little hooded thing down there I saw, so they can cover it. If the town had a larger facility to stockpile the sand and the salt, so they could get a lot more in there, would be nice.
You know what that little facility
I
would
do,
cost?
I do.
Try $1
And
million.
The town, not the little one that's down there.
No,
No,
but
yeah.
That's
Yes,
what, they
yes,
spent a
but it's
little
something
over
that
that
needs to
down
be,
in
it's something that
Newfield.
needs to be looked into, and so we can stockpile. But this storm was a freak of nature. It was something different. All the towns were having problems.
Is there any other hearing assistance? Ricky?
Ricky Richardson, Road Commissioner. In the past, from plowing snow for my father for 18 years, and myself for 3, and my brother for 6, the salt and sand was put up before it even snowed. Okay? It says 2,000 yards. We hauled in a minimum of 2,000 plus. Me, Charles, and my brother hauled for a week straight to make sure his pile was over and above 2,000 yards, so this wouldn't happen. And the rule of thumb is the best time to get your salt sand up is when it's warm and dry out, not, I mean, we all run into problems, don't get me wrong. I mean, we all fall behind the 8 ball, we get busy, we're taking on work and we're busy. But the salt and sand is important to this town. We always let people get down there and shovel some on the truck too. If the town didn't have a stockpile, or if it was depleted, they could get down there and shovel some on. So why is it every year now, the sand and salt pile is getting later and later in the season? You know, if there's ever an emergency, what are we gonna do? Like, if the fire and rescue has to get somewhere, me and Charles will always have sand and salt in our trucks. Next door has always got sand. There's several contractors around town that keep material in their trucks in case there's ever an emergency. Because I take my truck to fire calls if needed. You know what I'm saying? So this seems to be we be drifting away from this 2,000 yard pile of sand that's required.
This year, because the contract was let out late, too.
And I mean, I will say, like, I mean, I made note of it. I'll be better about verifying the amount, but like, after my incident over the weekend, I mean, I texted the contractor to let him know the condition of the road, sent him photos, and I mean, he was out there within 15 minutes. I mean, great. Every time that, 2 hours? Okay. I mean,
He had to call, he had to start the truck up. He had to go down to the thing, start the loader up, let it warm up, and put a load on.
okay. I was told 15 minutes, so,
Well, that's what our contract says, immediately.
okay. So, I mean, I guess I'll look into that too. I
Well,
mean,
They used to, selectmen
The town
back in the
manager.
day would get down and check that stockpile when we had the contract. And they were pretty adamant about it.
yeah, I mean,
So it's like a public safety
I've been,
concern.
like I said, I've been down there. I don't know what 2,000 yards look like.
It's a big pile.
I can imagine. I have photos of what's down there. I can assume it's not 2,000 yards. I mean, I got 3 yards of gravel delivered to my house over the summer, and it was near there. But I mean, the contractor has been great in my experience with response compared to previous contractors that I have dealt with. But it's just a matter of, I guess I will spend more time looking into things. I don't know. It's another example of town manager may be needed, but I know people don't like hearing that. Is there any other hearing of citizens? I'm seeing none. Old business, review of legal accounts. I didn't see any bills. Howard, in the warrants from this week?
Oh, I don't know, but they were $12,000 worth of bills last week.
Oh, I don't know what they were off the top of my head. I can,
No, just a quick. That was a total, little over 11,000, and it went from June until October 31st, all on one statement. Why would they bill something not monthly? Because, I mean, I've been watching them, and we don't have any. We got a little here and a little there, the Stan's been dealing with and everything. But all of a sudden, you know, we get this massive $11,000, $12,000 bill dating from June to October. They don't bill monthly?
I think there were ongoing cases.
Most of them do.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I've been following them for the last 10 years, and I've got every one of them that's since then, and it's a monthly statement, and one episode went on for 3 years. So, I mean, we would, even though they don't bill at the end of you know, if it's settled. I don't know, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
I was surprised because I've been asking for them, and I get a little one here and a little one there, and then this massive one, and nothing was said. Was just curious, you know, why it wasn't monthly. But from what I've heard on this firm, it's a little different anyway.
I've heard a lot of bad things about this firm tonight, so maybe we should put on the agenda, look at new legal firm. I mean, I've had great response with them. I've had I mean, sometimes the board hasn't wanted to follow with what they recommend, which I think is crazy, but I've had great experiences with them, but just because I have doesn't mean everybody else has, so maybe we should look at a new firm instead of just hearing about complaints. I mean, I don't know what to do. Steve, I don't know what to do anymore.
I can add it, but I would probably concentrate on an auditing firm right now.
Let's get the audit done first. That would be better. On these, whatever, $11,000, did they give us a breakdown?
Yes, it's a complete breakdown.
All right, so what's the cost been of the treasurer's recall?
I think that was like 1,500.
That's all it cost us?
I'm just guessing, I think, yeah, about
I'm
what
just
it
wondering,
was.
because we went to court a couple of times or whatever, they did something, so that's why, 11,000, I mean, it's just nice to, because.
It does have a breakdown.
Okay,
It does
because
tell you what
most
it
of the
is.
stands work,
Mostly,
we can recoup, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
So the 11,000, in reality, is kind of like your general assistant, you get 70 or whatever, 80% back. So it sounds an impressive thing, but can that be broken down so we know what that is?
I'll request a copy of the bill and I'll come with the breakdown next week.
Well, I'm just saying, just so, you know,
No,
it sounds better than general
I'll do that
public
right now.
that-
I'll request Julie to send me a copy of the bill. I'm emailing her right now, so I don't forget.
That one there, that's the breakdown. That was so far, that, I don't know whether that's total, but that was partial recall,
Okay, 11,000
1,100.
or 1,100,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, but we got 11,000, you just
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
So that's what I'm
it's not
saying, is
over.
so if we see where the breakdown is.
Courier guidelines, what's that?
What was it?
Courier guidelines. December 1st warrant.
I
don't know what that was looking at, I don't.
$10,174.
I mean, December 1st was 30 days ago. I don't,
No, I know, well, I'm just getting the warrants now to try to get.
yeah, I don't have the bill in front of me, so I don't know what it would be.
No, is it a business? Courier guidelines, anybody heard of it? Because I know they had
The only Poria thing we've got is the subdivision up here.
I don't know, because there was someone there for the,
Well,
you know, tarring and the hot top, that engineering firm that, there was some of that and
Gloria, though.
everything, but I didn't know what that one was. It was kind of,
Well, if that was the contractor for subdivision, we get reimbursed.
oh, I don't know.
Wasn't Poria involved in the sidewalk
I don't know.
down here?
I don't think that cost us any money.
It shouldn't have. I know there was, we were involved for a little bit. I don't know what was involved as far as money-wise.
Yeah, I think they voted
I think
not to
Duncan
get
paid
it.
for the majority of that.
Right. I'm just saying, a large bill, it'd be nice to say, all right, we can put this much towards,
The problem is they didn't do
CEO.
it to our specs.
I just requested a copy of all bills from the last 4 months, and if I get them, I'll come with a
I
breakdown.
mean, if you come back and say 8,000 of that, we recouped from the code office, that's, you know, that makes this thing a hell of a lot more sensible.
Yep.
Almost 6,000 for the treasurer, for the recall. She just did the, yeah.
Anything on the municipal parking lot paving?
No, because of the holidays, they're just not around.
Gail, any update on Deep Vale?
received a bill from Community Dynamics for the work that was done in Phase 2, all the paperwork that has to be done, and that will be paid next month. I want to talk about the SOP, because it's related to Deepvale. Our auditor in Buxton never found time, and I know they're done tomorrow. So we will take that SOP as written. I think there's a couple lines we can take out. I'm going to go back and follow what was done with the fire station, how it was handled, because I believe it was handled correctly. Hollandville was not. So I will, we'll look at that and make sure that we have something to go by with Deepvale. Okay, so that's something I'm going to work on.
Okay.
And I'll go back to the committee. But Deepvale will begin now. The engineer has been working on documents for the RFP, which will go out probably in January, the end of January. So we need all of the engineering, so there'll be bills for that, but those funds are in place. We just got to make sure they get allocated correctly. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, budget information. So we do have a few budgets. Some of these we already went over, but we have had some changes to them. So for the first one on here is the Select Board and Administrative Support budget.
So that one just had a quick, it was a miscalculation on the webmaster pay on my part. So it just changed it, I think, by like $30.
Okay. So just a refresher, last year's, but 2025's budget was $133,231. 2026 budget requested is $127,139. We had already voted yes and approved this, so with the change in the number, I would look for a yes recommendation and to approve the budget as written.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. No. No. Next, we have, are these the housekeeping articles?
Yeah, so this is just a sample, it's not all of it. You need to approve 10, 11, 13,
Okay, yep.
and, no, sorry, 10, 11, 12, and 13. 12 are the numbers from the treasurer.
All right, so Article 10, shall the town vote to appropriate all funds received from the snowmobile registrations from the state of Maine for the Limerick Snowmobile Club for the purpose of maintaining the snowmobile trails open for the public use pursuant to 12 MRSA 13104. So this is something we've done in the past. Snowmobile registrations go to the snowmobile club to maintain the trails. So I'd look to accept the article as written and recommend a yes vote.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Article 11. To see if the town will vote to A, fix a date of commitment of September 1st, 2026 with taxes due payable 60 days thereafter, and to see if the town will fix a rate of interest not to exceed the state of Maine maximum to be charged on taxes and tax liens unpaid after said due date. B, to authorize the select board on behalf of the town to sell and dispose of any real estate acquired by the town by any other means other than for non-payment of taxes, with the sale or sales to be by public auction, advertised in advance by posting notices in 3 conspicuous places in the town at least 30 days prior to the sale or sales, and to execute municipal quitclaim deeds for such property. Do we have to change that?
To what?
Don't we have to sell it with a real estate agent now?
I thought that was passed last year.
The real estate agent?
I thought we had to. The auction was gone.
I know for the tax acquired properties,
Yeah.
but by any other means other than for non-payment of taxes. So any other, okay, actually, never mind. So this is written, that's how does anybody, I just need to say it out loud again, I guess. Sell and dispose of any real estate acquired by the town by any other means other than for non-payment of taxes. So if somebody gifts us land or town-owned property. What were you going to say, Alicia? I'm sorry. Before I said that. So the tax-acquired properties do have to be sold by a real estate agent, but these are for town-owned properties.
Do you want to make that change or add it in that it can be either or? You just,
Well,
that's what we had last. There's the ones that have the changes from last year are only a few that you see, like with the year, month or year in them. You know what I mean? So like A was a change.
yeah, I think I just had to say that. I mean,
No, I'm totally fine with it. I mean, to read that.
No, when I read it back out, it's saying for any other means
Yeah.
other than non-payment, so that makes sense.
Which is fine. I just don't know if you needed to read through them all except for just the ones that have changes, but maybe it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't want to be hiding anything. Authorize the select board, or C, authorize the select board on behalf of the town to sell, dispose of any tax-acquired properties. I should have just kept reading. On such terms as they determine to be in the best interest of the town, and to issue quitclaim deeds for such property, except that the select board shall use the special sale process as required by 36 MRSA 942 to 943 for qualifying homestead property if they choose to sell it to anyone other than the former owners. I should have just kept reading. D, authorize the select board to purchase bonding security for the town officers in cases so required by law. E, authorize the select board to appoint all necessary town officials for the ensuing year. F, authorize the select board at their discretion to accept any lots deeded to the town according to 30 MRSA 5654. G, to authorize the select board at their discretion to make town buildings available for use by Limerick residents, non-residents, nonprofit organizations, all related town committees, clubs, and town-sponsored activities. The following conditions will apply to town-sponsored events. The select board shall appoint individuals to plan, organize, and staff. That the select board shall have the authority and oversight and jurisdiction of the activity over hiring, safety, and cash management policies and procedures. All funds collected and dispersed for the activity shall be accounted for in the town's annual audit and overseen by the municipal treasurer. H, authorize the select board to accept any fees, grant monies, donations, or reimbursements received, including when necessary, signing contracts and related documents, and accepting conditions of approval, and to expend such funds for any purpose for which the town has appropriated funds in accordance with the requirements of the grant, donation, or reimbursement. I, authorize the town clerks, tax collector, and treasurer to accept prepayment of taxes not yet committed as authorized by 36 MRSA 506 with no interest to be paid on the same. J, authorize the select board to spend an amount not to exceed 3/12 of the 2026 annual budget during the period from January 1st, 2027 to the annual town vote held in March of 2027. K, authorize the select board to sell and dispose of town-owned lots within Lake Arrowhead Community, Inc. to abutters of such lots on terms and conditions that are in the best interest of the town. All sales must be conducted and adhere to 36 MRSA 942 to 943. L, authorize the select board to pay tax abatements and any applicable interest from overlay generated through tax commitment or, if necessary, from unassigned fund balance, the surplus, and to set the interest rate to be paid on such abatement at 2% per year for fiscal year 2026. M, to have the select board adhere to the 2024 fund balance policy to ensure financial stability of the town of Limerick. N, authorize the select board to sell and dispose of town-owned lots with or without buildings with terms and conditions that are in the best interest of the town and apply those proceeds to the capital project reserve account after all taxes and costs have been paid on each parcel and adhere to 36 MRSA 942-943. And O, to have the select board annual review the town's assessing firm, the main revenue services certification of full equalized value of all real and personal property, which is subject to taxation under the laws of Maine for the town and adjust assessment values to ensure maximum exemption status through the state of Maine. So that is Article 11. Sorry, couldn't find, yeah. That is Article 11. I'd look to accept it as written and recommend a yes vote.
So moved. Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Article 12, shall the town vote to appropriate $1,251,205 estimated revenues from excise taxes, fees, urban rural improvement program, department revenues, bank interest, property tax interest, and unassigned fund to reduce the 2026 tax commitment. I would look for a yes recommendation and to accept it as written.
So moved. Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. And Article 13, shall the town vote to transfer $15,000 from the unassigned account to the contingency account and authorize the municipal officers to utilize as they deem advisable to meet unanticipated expenses and emergencies that occur during the year. I'd look for a recommendation for a yes vote and to accept it as written.
So moved. Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right.
The last one is the third page number. It might not say 20, because I need to just put my other capital ones I left in on that describe one I forgot here. Where you want that debt service, instead of raising and appropriating, or are you transferring it?
Yeah. The article reads, shall the town vote to transfer from the capital project reserve account $122,726 for debt services for the ensuing year for the fire station payment. What did we do for this year? Did we raise and appropriate it? Or did we?
In last year?
Last year, 2025.
Sounds about right.
I think we donate, yeah, I think we,
What capital reserve account?
it says the capital project reserve account.
What is it? Is it unfunded?
The one that all of our sale lot money has gone into, or supposed to. All of the lots should be there, because we've
Not there.
sold all
How
those
can you
properties.
spend money that isn't recorded in the general ledger?
Article 20 of this year, we vote to raise and appropriate.
And it's a loan, right?
Mhm.
It should be raised and appropriated.
Yeah, Article 20 of the warrant for this year was, shall the town vote to raise and appropriate $122,726 for debt services for the ensuing year for the fire station payment?
So you want to do raise and appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd look for a motion to recommend a yes vote and change the wording from the capital project reserve account to the raising and appropriating it for the debt services for the ensuing year.
So moved. Seconded.
Motion to second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I would suggest we probably try to locate all of our lot money.
Yeah.
It's several $100,000. It's supposed to be in a capital project reserve. That's a housekeeping article.
All right. Next budget is professional and legal services. Jumping around a little bit, we did not get any request for proposal for an auditing firm. We sent it out a couple of weeks ago. RHR Smith has informed us that they don't want to work. I don't know if they, RHR Smith, we're under the assumption that they aren't willing to work with us. They did request some money up front, and we thought that was a little absurd. I think it was like $20,000 they requested up front.
More than that.
Was it more than that?
Close to 30.
That being said, we As of right now, do not have a plan for an auditing firm. No request for proposals came back that we sent out. So under professional and legal services, we don't have a number to fill in for the auditor.
You'll see I just put 15 in just to give us a
Yeah,
figure to start.
15,000 was put in there just for 2026. We spent a significant amount this year.
30.
Yeah, I think 39, I don't want to. So I don't know, 15,000, I don't know if we feel that is enough.
It's low.
Last year's was 9,200.
Okay.
So we spent the year to date.
According to this report, I don't know if this is, there must be another part. It says that we've overexpended the account by 10,000 and we budgeted 11,700, which is a number that I do recall seeing. But when I looked previously, I thought that auditing firm bill was upwards of 39,000 is what we had spent on that this year. So I guess what is a amount that we feel comfortable putting in that line?
I would say a minimum of 25. With the understanding we may have to go back to them and
Yeah.
at the school vote. We get more depending on once we find an auditor. That area that we've been looking at, the Portland area, maybe we ought to expand that out a little bit more. I don't know how far these firms will travel.
MMA can't assist you?
No, they don't do it anymore.
They provided the list that we used. So we.
Yeah, they did provide a list and we decided to go with the Portland area ones.
Yeah, I mean, we went with the ones that you have left, if you want to contact, are Bangor, Brewer, Presque Isle, Caribou, and Ellsworth.
Did you physically talk to these people?
I did. I actually talked to all of the firms. They all agreed. They all gave me emails. I emailed them all 11/26, one on 12/3. Talked to all the offices. They all wanted to see them. They all got copies of the RFP and our management letters. And we did not get one back.
I'll send them again. And I do expansion. We had our engineering firm for Hollandville, he's from Waterville.
Yeah.
Okay, they move around. And
Well, Smith's already going to Presque Isle.
it's a very busy time of year for them to do this, so I did it again. There's a big shortage.
Yeah, there was an article that came out, yeah. I'm totally fine with doing that. It's just a matter of, we need to have a number in by January 12th. So I think 25,000 doesn't hurt to have at that number.
No, you can always go back
Go
and
with that.
Yeah.
do a vote of
Yep.
raising it. So with that change, it's gonna be 163, 126. to vote on.
So 2025 was 142,740. Is that not?
No, I had 153, 126 before.
On 2025s,
On what?
for 2025?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
So for 2025, the budget was the 142,740. And for 2026, we're requesting 163, 126. Looks like some changes, minor changes, less than $500 in trio payroll.
Liability insurance.
Liability insurance and,
Members' dues just up a little.
yeah, I
Mostly
mean,
those were all normal, like, increases.
Wish those legal services could be cut down, but
well, we're lucky we had the amount of legal services to help cover, like I said, we only
Yeah,
had
so-
$9,200 budgeted for auditing. So luckily that was within the same account. Or you've had a special town meeting.
And right now, we've spent 78% of that budget. Yeah, I don't know on these like, I'll have to talk with Julie about just asking some questions on these reports. So as of this report dated 12/28, we've spent where did it go? 31,000 of our legal account. So is there any other changes we want to see on this? Okay. Is there a recommendation to accept it at the 163, 126 and recommend a yes
A
vote?
motion to accept it.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? All right. The next one is the assessing department. This one,
That one I still had EPL in it, so I just had to take out $402. That will go into the other account. So it changed, it lowered it by $402.
so. It's easy math, I should have been able to do that. So 7082, is that what you got?
What?
We're subtracting another 440?
No, I already did it. That's the total.
Okay,
I've already taken it out. The one that you see in there is just vacation, but I had accidentally left her 402
Okay.
for earned vacation.
so 2025 budget was $70,275, and the 2026 budget request is $70,484, so up 200.
That $35,004, is that a set figure, or did they
That,
send
we
that?
asked him, we asked them,
Okay.
yeah, and that is the same, he kept that the same from last
Mhm.
year. But yeah, we asked him about that figure.
All right, is there a recommendation for,
So moved.
you know what I was gonna say? Is there a second?
Yep.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Health insurance,
So this just needed an adjustment to FICA. We last week approved, or the week before approved the increase for the potential 2 new deputy clerk, town clerk, just hadn't adjusted the FICA Medicare appropriately.
okay.
It was still on the old figure.
Yep.
Health
So,
insurance went up that much?
because we have potential 2 new employees
And
with the
again,
deputy.
if they don't take it, this account will, there's a chance that they may not. We just don't know. And we can't clearly wait because they could pick up health insurance right away when they're hired.
$25,000 more? Wow.
Yeah, because even if they don't take health insurance, they can get up to 500 per month per person.
Yeah, so we had to kind of balance.
And so is there a recommendation for a yes vote and to accept it as written?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor? All right. The next one is the treasurer.
We tried to,
2025's budget was $106,017. And 2026 requested is $113,267.
I don't think that I think the biggest thing here is I don't think last year she had vacation pay included into her budget. So again, we chatted about that. If somebody cashes it out, needing to have the funds available that way.
All right. So is there a motion to accept it as written and recommend a yes vote? Is there any changes anybody wants to see?
Question about vacation for the treasurer.
Yep.
The treasurer is salaried, correct?
Correct?
So her vacation pay is in her salary, correct?
Correct.
And you don't have to hire anybody to take her place because you have a deputy. So why would there be extra money for vacation?
I'm unsure.
She doesn't get paid twice, right? You don't pay the salary plus the vacation on top of it when she's not here. Just wondering.
She have in there for a replacement? Rather than having the deputy do it?
I just want to see, because
Is the salary for the deputy $24,000, $24,523?
At 24,586, I think it says.
Okay. So the report that I'm looking at, dated 12/28, says 65% or 66% of that has been used this year.
let's do some quick math.
I would think, given the issues in that department, that that deputy would be at closer to 100%. Just saying. So if she's not using a deputy, are we going to continue budgeting and raising that money? If she's not, if she feels that can handle the entire job without a deputy to the tune of, can we reduce that number?
Well, and the deputy that's in there now, has she been here this whole year? I mean, since January 1st?
Well,
No.
she should have been,
But she
she got
wasn't.
elected in 2024.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of things we all should have done, but we
I
can't
understand, but I'm just saying.
dwell on back things.
Okay.
Have to move forward. So I think one of the reasons the budget hasn't been expended is that deputy hasn't been here this full year. So if the department head is requesting that amount, I would assume
Is
that,
role for the next year, if it's not used, like the deputy town clerk?
Zeroes out.
it'll go back into the,
Put it back in.
yeah.
So you can ask for anything, and if you don't spend it, it goes back in.
Yep. Joanne?
Her vacation time is part of her salary.
Okay.
She gets paid 52 weeks. I don't know,
Yeah.
what she takes, but if she takes 4 weeks, she just gets the salary, but she doesn't work. Somebody else takes her place. That's the way it is with.
We've got until next Thursday, right?
Yeah, but we have till,
I'm just wondering, just to get her to clarify what in the devil she's doing here. And then we can deal with it next Thursday.
yeah,
You really should we'll clarify before Monday. Thursday's gonna be like I gotta have it, like when we meet on the 8th, you guys are signing.
that night.
Like, I don't wanna be putting in a budget into
And
the
so-
green sheet and the warrant that night. That will be like
She'll be in
any
tomorrow, right?
emergency changes, so if you're checking with her, there needs to be this needs to be fixed by Monday.
Okay. So do you want to ask her that and come back Monday with this one?
Yeah, I have an issue with that one.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing is taking out the vacation.
Other than that, I don't see any problem with it.
Okay.
Codes was just, again, I had to fix,
Wait a minute.
the vacation for Dottie. I only had 402.
What?
I know the supply's one thing, but I question why why she needs $2,000 for equipment. Geez, the computers are all taken care of and everything, so.
Yeah.
Well, that came out of, but we did, she was going to, I know last year, order another Fire King cabinet, which those are super expensive. Luckily, Waterboro reached out and they donated one
Well,
to
why
us.
can't that come out of supplies?
Well, it can, but that's usually
That's
like,
actually an asset, though.
a Fire King cabinet could be $2,000,
Yeah.
like one cabinet. So, I mean, you certainly can ask, but I'm just thinking we've talked about, like, if she potentially needs another one, we would have to buy one, so.
So the code enforcement office was, you said the FICA?
No, it was, I only had 402 in Dottie's vacation. I'd accidentally typed, when I was taking out unpaid leave, I typed it wrong. So it was
Okay.
just a fix, it just changed the amount a little bit.
Okay. So the new amount is 141,097.60. So I'd look for a motion to accept this and recommend a yes vote.
So moved.
Second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Next budget we have is EMA.
EMA is one you held on hold to review.
Over the stipends.
I can't remember now what you,
Oh, so we're fixing the generator.
yeah, it was, that somebody was going to check on the generator.
Was I supposed to check on the generator?
I don't remember, this
Remember
one's
who
been a little
was.
while.
I know the generator was a question that I had an issue with. Oh, maybe I was supposed to.
Because we spent, what was it, 5,000
Yeah, so-
last year, and there's a 5,000
I
again
don't
this
see
year.
how that can be 5,000
Yeah.
in 2 years.
Yeah.
Just,
The portable generator. Yeah, so one of the things that came up at our last meeting was if it sat for 13 years untouched and it cost $5,000 to repair it, annual service should not be $5,000. If after 13 years it costs $5,000. And if it is annual service of $5,000, then we need to let it sit there for 13 years again. I'm joking, but I might have been the one who was supposed to reach out. I don't think so, though. I could be wrong. I would feel okay with dropping that amount, and then if we need to raise it, we can do that at the June vote for annual service, because it's been serviced this year already. Yeah, I don't want to totally deplete it, but I think, once again, I don't have a generator, so I don't know. I mean,
I'd be curious to know if they can go like every 2 years.
I would,
3
yeah,
years.
yeah.
It's not that that thing's running every week.
No, the majority of it is when the power goes out, it runs the pump station for the water district. Yes.
I would say right now, just for the sake of talking about it, I'd eliminate it and do it in the June.
Completely?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm
If
fine
we
with
don't
that.
know, and rather than waiting, I mean, it's nothing that's gonna have to be done in the next,
Yeah, I mean, it was
3
just
or
done
4
this,
months.
it was just done this month, so.
I just can't believe it's gonna cost that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had 5,000 budgeted for this year, for 2025. But like I said, I just can't imagine if 13 years it cost 5,000, and then we paid another 5,000 this year, because that was serviced in 2024.
Ray said something, I asked him, and he said something about they had to go to CAT. Well, if you take anything CAT, they're gonna pay up the nose for it.
So the new total for that budget with eliminating the 5,000 would be 7,100. So I'd look for a recommendation for a yes vote and to accept it with the changes.
Moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Next budget is the fire EMS budget. Oh, how is this?
So you're just looking at personnel,
Okay, so,
which is 669,300. Then he sets his up a little bit differently. But that's the amount that would go on the budget this year for that, and the total for everything else. The other one is 212,500. They are split within the
yeah.
budget.
Okay, so for personnel budget, 2025 budget was 644,500, and 2026 requested is 669,300. So is there a
So moved.
recommendation for a yes vote and accept it as written? There's a motion, is there a second?
I still have an issue with, I'll go along with it, but I still have an issue with that chief, deputy chief, but,
Okay, are you going to second it, though?
yeah.
Okay. Is there any discussion? And all those in favor? Opposed? Okay. And the 2025, the remainder of the fire EMS budget, 2025 request was 199,410, and the 2026 proposed is 212,550. So is there a recommendation for a yes vote and to accept it as written?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second? It's stapled to this. Okay. Yep.
In Vinnie's budget, is he budgeting for dry hydrants repair this year?
I don't see that in this budget. No, I think he mentioned that at the budget committee meeting.
That $10,000 was raised last year.
Yeah.
But it's
Never-
nowhere.
Never did anything with it.
Well, yes, but if it had been a capital project,
That was the conversation that was said at the budget meeting was,
so he's not going to do it this year, in 2026, they're not going to do it? Because he's not going to have any money to do it.
they know that it wasn't a capital project, and I think that they are not requesting it for this year, no.
So they aren't planning, okay, so we raised $10,000 last year. We gave you our money. They didn't do it, and they're not planning on doing it next year?
I mean, I
They
think
took our money. We gave them our money.
Isn't it going back?
I mean,
Where's it going to?
The general fund?
Yes, and,
Is it coming back or no?
yes, it comes back into the general fund. It was in
I think
an
it got
expense.
set up, it was not yes, it was not set up correctly. The question was not asked correctly. I think
So
it was
write the
capital
article to take
project.
$10,000 from undesignated then, because you already got the money. You're going to raise it twice. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
When you do get around to it.
Well, yeah.
So just write an article that says $10,000 will help fund their budget.
thank you. Did you second that, Howard?
Which one?
The second one, the 212,550, the 2026, the operations one. I'll second it.
Okay.
What?
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Ricky?
Referring to what Gail just brought up, is that $10,000 gonna be carried over, or is it gonna be?
No, so the way that it was written,
We discussed repairing the dry hydrants and installing a few new ones.
yeah,
I really don't know what happened, but we had
Just
some
wasn't
plans
set
in
up
place.
correctly.
What's
The
that?
question wasn't set up correctly.
Okay.
Wasn't
if it
set
was a
to
capital project,
Yeah.
the money would stay in that
Just
account
raise
until
and
expended.
appropriate.
So just put an article in to move 10,000 from undesignated into that account and set it up now. And we just vote. That's all.
That's true.
My question on that whole project was, I don't know if all those have been tested to know if they've got to be replaced or not.
We tested, we tested,
You and I, yeah.
what, 4 of them, and I think the only one we could get going was the one down at your pond.
Yeah. I
And
know.
that took quite a while to prime it, but the one, like on the Foss Road, the whole screen at the very end of it's
Because
missing.
I was down there when there was Smyrla, and there was some other guy that was learning how to run the truck.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any troubles getting that going.
No, I was just asking if it was gonna be carried over so we could come up with a plan,
Yeah,
sooner in the year, and then have some time to
The thing I
possibly address those.
thing I don't understand on that is why, with those all plastic fittings and everything, why there's a problem.
the sun fading of them, the constant, the PVC breaks down. I mean, in Newfield where I work too, there's some same things that are happening. They're going out of commission. There's a couple over in Parsons Field, one on Cram Road that I know of in Parsons Field that has been there quite some time and just, it's deteriorated and they get beat up because they're so close to the road by the plow constantly. And
I think that is a good idea to set up a question. That way it can
The
be.
issue is, if you don't set it up now, the next board won't remember, and they'll raise and appropriate it again.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Ricky.
All right, so there is a motion and a second on the fire department operation budget. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? All right. And then is there a motion for the dry hydrant question to move 10,000 from the undesignated fund to a capital project reserve account?
So moved. Seconded.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. So we'll add that question, Alicia. Please and thank you. Thank you, Gail and Ricky. And then the next budget is the public buildings budget. This is down. I love that. 2025 budget was $117,005, and the 2026 budget request is $99,323. We
This
are
one still has
less a
just
building.
I think I changed in one spot, but on another, if you remember, I had a little more in telephone than
Okay.
we needed, so I adjusted that back to the 12,000.
And while I did say the budget is down, we are also down a building. We did sell one of the buildings, so
Yes.
if you look at it like that, the rain's on my parade. So is there a recommendation for a yes vote and to approve the article as written?
So moved. I'll second it.
Second, any discussion?
Yeah.
Gail?
When you look at the Bricktown Hall, there's quite a bit of money left over, huh?
There's not.
There is not?
Nope, that money should have been transferred over for trees.
No, I think that money includes the insurance money.
What's it say there is?
I'm not, municipal building, all right, keep going. Bricktown Hall, it looks like there's 18, unexpended balance is 26,623?
Well, there should be almost 18 should have been transferred over. That was the vote for trees.
Right, but at that time, how much was in this account, because nothing was being spent for repairs of $25,000. That's where I think it came from. There was $25,000 in here for repairs, and it didn't get all spent, so they took the money for trees. Okay? And so right now, the unexpected balance in that account, if I read this correctly, is $26,623 because the insurance money for the waterfall damage was put into this expense account when it should have been put into a capital account. I think, and please, you'll have to check because I might not be reading this correctly, that $18,609, I think that's the number, is recommended by the auditors to do just that. But I can't get a copy of any recommendation that the auditors have made because I put in a FOIA request. I just want to check. I can't tell what's going on because it's misstatements in what you're looking at. And I understand that we actually requested them from our HR, and they didn't want to give them to us either. Don't have time, I guess. But our treasurer should have them right beside her, okay, making adjusting entries. We just wanted a copy of it so we can figure out what the hell's going on.
I emailed them, and they said they would get right back to me, and that was a week and a half ago.
Right.
Those
But we're just trying.
Those have come in.
We're just trying to figure out
The
what to
2000
do, okay? And we can't figure it out if we can't get the data. And so I just would like to see that $18,000 put into the Bricktown Hall revitalization when you find it. I think it's out there floating around somewhere. But I can tell you, it's going to, on December 31st, tomorrow, that money's going to go back into the general fund. It's going to be undesignated, okay? Unless she works her magic and does something in 2024. But right now, it's in 2025. Okay, that's where it was put, so it's going to roll back. So, I don't know. Good luck.
Cheryl?
The money, the time has been spent on the Bricktown Hall, and it stopped being used, but they want to revitalize it. They want to put this and this, but no one uses it. You can't use it because this is, why don't we just, a few years ago, we just closed it for the winter or just shut it down. I mean, have it just a museum piece, because the money that's being dumped into it, and who uses it? A birthday party once in a while? You know, I mean, it's
used
a few of our buildings.
It's used every week. Every week that thing's used.
For?
Community services, birthday parties.
Yeah, but we haven't had any, you guys haven't accepted any parties for
We don't do that
months.
anymore. We voted to, it goes all through Alicia.
Yeah.
We don't have to vote on that every week now anymore. We haven't done that for almost a year, over a year.
Yeah.
But from what you're dumping into it, I think the building should be used a lot more, and it's not. So, you know, save some money here and there.
I agree.
Thank you.
Cheryl, we agreed. Look at that.
It's a big money pit.
While we're on that subject, you have a policy for the use of that building. Are you going to update it to what the DOJ said could happen there? What the fire marshal said could happen with that building? Are you going to update that policy?
I will
Because
look at that
it is-
policy over the next week.
It's
and
pretty negative, okay? And none of it is true anymore. It was true maybe at the time when it was written, but not now. Because of the DOJ and because of the fire marshal, okay? And if you need to see what the fire marshal had to say, the assistant fire marshal, it's posted on YouTube, okay? That was 5 years ago.
we have an email from our deputy fire chief and the fire marshal confirming the limit.
I'm talking, then I need that, I want to challenge that, because if Richard Starkey, I think his name was, he was the assistant.
Pretty sure we
He
talked about
came
this
here,
last
he came here, and Mr. McLean was there too. There was a number of people
In the
there.
last year, we've definitely talked about, the occupancy limit.
Yes, I know, but that gentleman that you talked to, I want to see it in writing, because I have it, I can give it, and I'll challenge it with them.
Okay, yeah, I think we definitely do have that in writing. I remember seeing that over the last,
Who said it? Who said it? A regional guy? A regional guy? We were
Gail, I do
talking to
not
the
know off the top of
Assistant
my
Fire
head.
Marshal of the state of Maine. He came here. He inspected the building, and he told, are you saying he was lying to us?
those words never came out of my mouth. More words put in them. So what would we like to do with this? Do we want to change any amounts? Do we want to keep them the same? I will admit, I am, do we have a motion in a second on this yet? Okay. Thank you, Gail. Got a little off.
I'll forward you the email, Gail.
Any changes you want to see or no? We can always vote to, I don't want to plan to do this, but down the road, we can vote to transfer money if needed. Oh, my lord.
What is this $7,000 up top of here for buildings?
It's under, goes, you go to the other side, it's under repairs and maintenance.
Repairs and maintenance of the Bricktown Hall.
What is that?
I think that's just for, I mean, it's down from 27,000 the year prior.
What's that represent as far as, is there any plans for that?
I know the revitalization committee does have a full idea of
I
plans.
realize that,
Yeah, but I can't remember off the top of my head if $7,000 is allocated for anything. No, I know, I did just say that. I'm saying, I don't know if we came up with the number of 7,000 out of our head, or if we added 3 things on the list together, or 7 things on the list together. I did just say, though, there is a list of things with prices on what to fix, so please don't think I'm ignoring that list.
Normal, just repairs and maintenance if anything occurs in that building, heat-wise, or, I think that's what it was.
What was the reason?
Howard, the last time that first floor was painted, you did it. What year was that?
Oh, God. Say 20 years ago?
So that room hasn't been painted in 20 years, and paint's chipping, it's just normal wear and tear, people gluing things on and the paint peeling off. So every 20 years, I paint my home. That'll be more than $7,000, I imagine, how it's going to do.
Yeah, you won't touch it for $7,000.
What was the reasoning for the telephone? Is that because of the internet?
Alarm.
The
Alarm system, that's what the alarm system.
I don't know, it's just, stuff I'm thinking about having for instance, this building, it's gonna have to be capital improvement money. That's all.
Yeah.
None of this will make a dent in it.
Okay.
So we got a motion. and a
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on changes or anything, or I'm seeing none? All those in favor? All right. Okey dokey. That is all I have for budget. We're not done. Nowhere near done.
I don't know how this works, so I'm just wondering. Last August, it was said that $300,000 was going to be used to lower the taxes. How does that money get moved out of undesignated? How does that happen? I'm just wondering.
We voted.
How does that happen? Put on the commitment, okay, but does it have to go on the warrant?
Yes.
Is it on the warrant? I remember the number was $300,000 to help lower the taxes. So I just didn't know if there was,
There should be a list. That hasn't been developed yet because we don't know how much money all departments have taken in, right?
No, that's-
no, this was,
This is separate.
This $300,000 was, by the board, was said that the taxes were going to be lowered, and it was on the commitment. So it is on the warrant. It is on the warrant. So are you backing off the 300,000? You're saying they have to have other numbers? Because you're raising taxes based on it. It's a pretty substantial number. I'm
Yeah,
just wondering. It's just, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you. I don't.
Over the years, it's fluctuated. Some years they don't recommend anything.
Right.
Other years it's 100,000.
2 years ago, they didn't recommend anything. Usually, it was what was left over. But this time, we were told that we had such a healthy, undesignated, okay, that it was going to be $300,000. That was August, and that was this, well, I think you all were there. You don't remember that? I
No.
remember numbers like that one. Well, it's easy to find that number out because there's a paper that says it, right, when they do their little thing to raise taxes. It's easily figured out. Dottie would have that sheet if you don't,
Okay.
so.
I have 3 pages of stuff to look over before next week's meeting. I can look into that. I mean, I don't recall that, but sure, one of us can look into that. Moving on, discussion of new system administrator. There is a meeting set up for Tuesday, the 6th at 6 and 7 p.m. with potential new system administrators. They are select board workshops.
I heard from
Rick or Chris?
Chris tonight.
Okay.
And I actually reminded him, because when he was down here, what, a week or so ago, I asked him to get the proposal in, and he hasn't done it. But anyway, he told me on the phone that it'd be basically the same thing as last year, $3,000, if we go over $3,000 on the budget, and commit to that, it'd be his bill would be $75 per hour. If we don't commit to the $3,000 and we still have him do things, it goes to $95 an hour.
Okay.
So it's just engaging him up
Yeah,
front with
yeah, no,
$3,000.
I know right now we don't have to tell him, but we're currently out of contract right now, so I don't know if we should be getting
Oh,
charged
yeah,
90.
well, I looked at the contract, it's like 3 years out of date.
Okay. So I think we definitely still go ahead with those meetings on the 6th and
Oh, and he does have he did
the carbonite.
the carbonite.
Okay.
He's got that reissued.
Okay.
You did? I'll have to check, because I got several things on my computer today when I logged on. But it's not.
That was done prior to him coming down, working on Stan's
I
computer.
know, so I was gonna ask, because I knew you said that, but mine, that was the first thing that pops up when my computer turns on, that it's out of subscription.
The job description for the IT, does that include Microsoft Office and include Exchange and the email and supporting that? These people, do they know how to do that stuff? That's a separate kind of thing than just system administration. We need support.
Yeah, from what I understand, does Chris give support now? I mean, is that who he? Okay, so I think that it would be beneficial to, A, ask, but B, also have these questions for the meeting on the 6th.
Find out what the going price is these days. I think that's
So we will do that. Nope, I just debunked that, okay, sorry. Got a message saying we weren't on live, but we are on live. My live is working. It's my mother, so I don't know how good technology is over there. I didn't say that. So we have those meetings on the 6th here in this room, one at 6 p.m., one at 7 p.m., and that is next Tuesday. Yes.
How many people do we have?
Right now, we have 2 people that are interested that have reached out to us. We haven't really kind of gone out for anything. Kind of hit on this already. New auditing firms, no RFPs have been received. So do we want to send requests for proposals back out to all the firms on that list? And see, I mean, my assumption is if we sent a firm to Presque Isle and they gave us a request for proposal, they're gonna be willing to come down and work with us if they sent in a request for proposal, so.
My first thoughts would be don't go any higher than Augusta. If we're gonna spread it out that far.
Okay. How many additional people would that give, Alicia?
None.
None?
Bath.
Oh, this,
Bath, what you said, Augusta?
Yeah.
So I could send it to Bath. Because I've sent it to the
It's more-
Portland, South Portland, Scarborough. What's left is Bangor, Brewer, Presque Isle, Caribou, Ellsworth, and Bath. So those are all past Augusta.
Glad you know your geography, because I would not know that. That's why I asked you. I went to Old Orchard Beach schools, so. Thank you. I mean, I think
what
it,
is wrong if we went into New Hampshire, or can we do that?
I don't know.
I don't know if we can. There's nothing on that list from MMA about New Hampshire's.
I still think MMA would endorse, probably doesn't give
New
you,
Hampshire
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being Maine municipal.
They post,
It's a
I
thing.
will say, they post
I'm
New
not saying
Hampshire
you
jobs
can't,
on
I'm
there.
just
They post
not-
New Hampshire jobs on there.
Yeah,
New
and we
Hampshire.
may,
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I think that's definitely something worth looking into. But I definitely don't want to not do anything for a little while, because March is gonna come around and we still are waiting for this one. I don't wanna be 2 years back.
I'm
wonder
happy
if there's
to
individual,
resend these out and do kind of a follow-up email, you know, not. all
rather than
sound
going to these
desperate.
firms, I wonder if there's individuals out there that do the audits, because we used to have just one guy come down here years ago from the state and do it.
Be a hefty insurance.
I also don't know
I'd
what
assume.
means, since our audit is not completed, tomorrow being the last day. Does anybody know what that exactly means?
What? Would you,
Our audit's not
That the
completed?
audit's not done, but tomorrow's the last day of the year.
Does that do anything?
He's got to finish it.
Huh?
He's got to finish it. He's under contract, right?
I know, I don't know. I mean, we haven't completed our adjusting entry, so I don't know where that puts us. That's why I was asking.
I agree. Even when she does send that stuff back, based on what I read in the paper, or what's going on in the state, we might see the end of that in June.
one of the last
He's
emails.
spread himself way too thin.
One of the last emails that I got was that they were just from what I understand, they were just waiting on the adjusting entries. Once they get that, they'll replace that form with their form. I know that article kind of changed my mind, but they'll replace that form with the form we gave them, and they'll take the word draft off of it, is what they told me. And as of today, when I came in earlier, the adjusting entries have not been completed, still kind of trying to find the time.
She's working on this one, because I asked her before I left this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. She said,
Yeah.
I told her, I said, don't do anything else but those tomorrow. Now, we'll see.
All right.
So do you want me to
Even
follow
at
back
that, I
up with
don't think we're
these?
gonna see anything till, for at least a few months after. It's a big mess out there.
Yep. So what do we want to do with the, I don't think a follow-up would hurt.
Follow up and add Ellsworth.
Do we, I mean, I'd almost be okay with, I mean, like I said, I mean, if we send them to a company in Presque Isle, and Presque Isle, I mean, Presque Isle knows where Limerick, Maine is, I would assume that if they gave a price, they'd be willing to work in Limerick, Maine.
Or Bangor.
Or-
The
Yeah,
question
yeah.
is, how come they had to have Smith go to Presque Isle to do work?
That's what I mean, yeah, I don't,
I think they just choose if they, yeah.
a price and,
You can always say, no, we don't want you.
correct,
No harm in asking.
yeah. So I'd be okay with reaching out to everybody on that list. Do we send one to Art? No, never mind.
That'll be snowballing what, you know, for him saying he'll do it again.
Well, we have the right to accept and reject anyone. So, is there a motion to reach out to all the companies on that list with a
Make a
request?
motion to reach out to everybody on the list for the auditing firms.
All right, I'll second that. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Thank you, Alicia. Anything else on the SOP grant? I know you gave a brief update about that.
No, we're gonna modify it and move along
Okay.
with the best we know.
Rec director, there was one new email this week that I reached out to the guy informing him, or I reached out to the person informing him that it was a part-time position that was stipend and asked if he wanted any more information on it. And he has not gotten back to me. Granted, I did reach out to him this afternoon, so I will wait and see about that. YCSWCD grant. Workshop is on Tuesday, January 20th at 6 p.m. And we need our ideas to send to Jim. So we took some stuff home last week or 2 weeks ago and reviewed the list. Alicia gave some recommendations where to come back this week with our recommendations. I thought of a couple of things that were on that list and that was mentioned that night, as well as something else. It's a community grant, resilience grant to like cohesive the community relationships. So some things that I brought up or I put on the list of things that I would like to see would be a generator for the municipal, a standby generator designated for this building, as this is the warming and cooling station. Drainage for this building, as the quotes for paving was a little bit up there. This grant that if we don't do the paving, we could work on just drainage issues. Insulation for this building, an emergency alert system so we can reach out to more residents at once, letting them know, hey, the municipal building's open for a cooling station, warming station. And then another one that I brought up a couple years ago, and it's kind of just been in the back of my mind, and I don't have a boat, so it will not affect me, but docks at the boat launch. I live off Emery Corner, and I see that there's an issue with people launching their boats. There's nothing to tie off to except the tree. That tree's been beat to death. And if it's cold, if it's cold, you're getting in the water to climb into the back of the boat.
It's also state property.
Yeah, but, I can ask the state and we can ignore it, but
Who sands it? Who sands it?
Who sands it?
who plows and sands it?
Who plows and sands it? Because it's town property, they own the water.
They own the property.
Then why are we sanding it and plowing it?
Why are we providing a porta potty there?
I think we've done it.
Years ago.
Okay,
They've done that.
okay, all right.
I was gonna say, we just, I
That
think
is a
the
sore
agreement
subject,
was
I've
to do
heard.
it for the community as a place that they
Yeah.
can ice fish and get into.
No, and I mean, I just think that I've seen people trying to launch their boats and it's definitely not easy. Once again, I don't have a boat, so it wouldn't affect me. If there was a dock, I might get a boat, but, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if any other board members have any recommendations or ideas.
I've given my stuff at home, so I wasn't planning on doing that tonight.
What was that?
Is it to solicit ideas from the public?
Yes, it's for the board to just have the community involvement. Yep.
But is the public allowed to put things on the list, or is it just the selectmen?
I think the board is supposed to come up with ideas that they want to see, and there'll be more discussion that night. But no, I think the public can certainly have involvement. That's, yep.
So those are just some ideas that I came up with.
You just need to have a direction for him to go.
Yeah, I mean, I
start.
definitely think a generator for this building, insulation for this building, I mean, it's something that keeps coming up and up and up, is the generator and the insulation of this building. So I would say that that's probably at the top of the list, with the docks being at the bottom. And then everything else in there kind of just in the middle. But I would say a generator and insulation. I don't know how the rest of the board feels.
Also need to paint the building. I don't know if that would,
Would painting,
I don't think painting was far, because we chatted about, because I was talking about this building, unfortunately, it's.
okay. And I know generators aren't cheap, so
Well, it's just hard to be a cooling, warming station if
power's
we
out,
don't have power here.
yeah.
yeah, if you had to power this whole building, it would a huge generator.
It would take one like you have at the fire station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty penny.
I'll bring down my Honda.
Yeah. So I'd say those are at the top of my list. I don't know if the rest of the board agrees, but just so we can kind of go in a give him a direction.
When did you guys have those in?
Well, we were supposed to do it the last meeting, so really before this workshop. So within the next few weeks here, probably
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
Next on the list is to change the public hearing on January 26th from 6 PM to 7 PM.
We always normally start a public hearing just at 7. They don't take usually that
Yeah.
long, so that was just when we set it up, I just didn't have the thought process.
And people that work can't get here at 6, like, the special town meetings we have, so 7's good.
I'd look for a motion to change the public hearing from 6 PM to 7
So
PM.
moved.
Is that a second? Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Discussion of bid from the revitalization committee. Your name's next to this on
You
here,
have
so.
a copy of the.
We all have it, yeah.
Hear what you decided?
I looked over these. I definitely think the Barbara and Wheelcock is, I don't know if I said that last name right, but
It's like a
Wheellock?
lock, yeah, wheel lock.
Oops. I mean, definitely, I reviewed their proposal, and their price is definitely the nicer of the two. Sorry, Barbara. And, I mean, we have the money to fund this, or at least a portion of the 8,500 from, I would assume, from the capital project account. I don't know how the rest of the board feels. The two bids were one for 85.50 and one for 15.5. Barbara and Wheelock, and Envelope Consulting are the two bidders for this. And this is to go over a bunch of different things over at the Bricktown Hall. Gutter system, energy efficiency windows, and second egress for the public safety. Come up with the plans for such things. So at the end, yeah, there you go.
I did a worksheet that I think that, yeah, there was some add-ons that made it go more than 8,600, I thought. Didn't it go like, I don't have that worksheet with me.
I think this.
Yeah, if you have, yeah, right, extra for meetings via Zoom or public meeting, that was an add-on, and that was in the bid. Because they come and visit and meet with the committee, and then they come and present to you publicly. Yes. Should we go there? It's just, it might not happen. Okay, but, so it's a few $100s more than that amount. And I thought that was there because it's like $9,000. I'm sorry, I apologize for not having that in front of me. Right. But every one of the, including Envelope Architect, had extras too, trust me.
I always find it funny how they add those extras in.
Oh, they do.
They add up quick, too.
And the Barbara wheel lock job is 8 weeks compared to the 11 weeks. So at the end of the 8 weeks, we'll have a plan of action to move
report.
forward.
You will have a report.
Okay.
That's the
And-
deliverable.
And the one thing that sticks out in my head is a second means of egress. So will they come up with a idea or plan?
Yes.
Or,
Yes, it won't be fully developed, but
Yeah.
it'll be enough to look for grants, present to the public.
solicit an architect to
right,
design
right,
what they are?
Right.
Okay. All right. With that being said, I would look for a motion to award the bid to Barbara Wheelock.
I agree.
So moved. Yep, second.
All right.
Okay.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. The bid has been awarded. If I need to sign anything, which I'm sure I do, I will sign it. Look at that, you have it there, don't you? I knew it. All right. All right, Historical Society request. I have an email here. Hi, Alicia, we put on the agenda the balance of R250202 of $5,380.58 be moved to the new account G4643-00 as of December. Julie signed my paperwork December 17th, and she made a copy again for herself. This was voted on by special town meeting on September 2nd, 2025. These funds are for restoration of the 1928 fire truck. I would like to obtain a copy of the G4643-00 account with the correct balance to attach to my paperwork to close our R250202. Thank you for your help in this matter. I did write a note to myself to reach out to our treasurer to verify. As of this report dated 12/28, that account still has a zero balance. So I would like to see that account funded before tomorrow night at midnight. So we already voted on that. They came in a couple weeks ago to let us know that everything is good out of that account. So G4643. So I will email Julie. As of tomorrow. All right, new business. That's all I have for old business. For new business, we have to set a public hearing for the March vote. There was an idea brought up of having 2 public hearings. I think that is the right thing to do. So we should start looking at dates for that. And by start, I mean pick them tonight.
When's the,
March 13th. Yeah.
Let's see this calendar.
Oh, it might not be, is that the new one? I did you wrong. Didn't I?
Alicia,
No, I have the new one. It's in my office. Are you like February's, I'm assuming you're doing, are you
Yeah.
doing Mondays or are you trying to do a different, we've done both. We've done
I think we
Mondays
can
and
do-
we've done a different night, so.
I think we can do one Monday. And then last week when I threw out a date, I got booed from the audience. Would it be crazy to do a weekend date?
I think we should.
Um,
We'll get more people.
That's what I think too. I don't know. We'd have to see if we can get recordings done for that. And where would we do those public hearings? I think those will be,
Well, it's up to you, but
we've done them here, but will they be largely attended this year?
it could be. We just don't know. Those are the things you don't know, how many people you're gonna get.
What's the fee for those meetings,
The fee for the
for SRCTV?
8,
I wanna say it depends
It's-
on the time, but
it's-
they've been between maybe
right around 8.
4 and 700, or an 800.
I want to say 800.
It just
895
depends, it
rings in my
depends
head,
on the
but
time frame.
I think so, yeah.
We did $100 an hour, Howard, down at the school.
And it would be pretty expensive
That's
to,
what I was
install the
thinking,
system.
the hourly rate. When you said 800, it threw me off.
so for February,
So what date's the town meeting?
13.
the 13th of March.
Okay, so
So I think we can do, looking at February, Mondays, we have the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd. I think the 16th would be,
Is that a holiday?
that's a holiday. No wonder it's standing out.
So we're doing weekends.
I think we can do one on the weekend and one on a weekday like normal. I think the 9th, would the 9th work? And where do we want to, where do we want to have
The
those?
closer you come to voting day, you'd be better off. So
Okay,
being
the
people-
23rd. Or do we want to go into March?
Haven't got much time in March.
Yeah, I think we can do, does the 23rd work?
February 23rd.
February 20, that's a Monday.
Yeah.
And do we want to have, those here?
I don't think you can take that
Yeah, I
chance.
don't think we can, not after the,
Okay. So I think definitely February 23rd. And then we should come up with 2 more dates, one being a weekend date, to see if SRC-TV will come in on a weekend to record, and the second one being a backup,
Yeah, so give me,
a
so
couple.
give me a weekend date, and if they
Yeah.
can't, then give me a second date.
So
Um,
21st for the first one, February 21st? It's a Saturday.
I will say if it is a Saturday, I would have to do Sunday for me to attend, but I do not have to be there, but I would like to. And even then, February, I could probably commit to a Sunday, but
You wanna
But you don't wanna do it on a Sunday.
what?
You don't want to do it on a Sunday.
We can do it. I will not be able to make it. I work Saturdays at my day job, so I will not be able to make it on a Saturday.
it's the first Sunday of March.
First Sunday of March would be March 1st.
You're going to have a meeting on a Sunday?
You just said,
Have to be up to them.
yeah.
They'll charge more.
I wouldn't do it.
Oh,
I'd do it
You're
on
not
a
gonna do it?
Saturday.
okay, just a question.
So we can try for the 23rd.
Pick one date to go out before absentee ballots start.
When do those start?
And I think it's 30 days before.
So that brings us back to the 9th. For one of the dates. Okay, so absentee ballots would start 30, if they start 30 days before, which does sound right, that would be February 13th, they would start. So,
I can't imagine SRCDP is going to want to do a Sunday.
yeah,
It's just my own feeling, but I don't even know if we tried this before and they didn't want to do a weekend.
so do we want to
They just
ask,
don't have the the
Yeah.
technicians that want to do it.
Let's just have them during the week.
do we want to, yeah, we don't have to do it on Monday either, we can do it different nights.
Hey, you could try a couple different nights.
Yeah,
but I feel like if you're offering two, that will be way more helpful than
Just
having
one. So if absentee starts on the 13th, do we want to? Why is picking a date so hard?
What about the 3rd and the 5th? Tuesday and a Thursday?
I don't think they have other,
They have the other one
towns.
On Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday they have, I think 2 nights the same week will be hard for them.
I thought it was
Well-
one or the other. It was two.
Oh,
But are we having it here, or are we having it up in,
no, that's up to you. That's up to you guys.
I think, I would hate to have it here and then have a lot of people show up and it be an issue like prior
safe to have
times.
it up to the firehouse?
But we've also had a public hearing at the fire department where literally nobody has showed up.
And we've had
5
one where, yeah,
But
we've
you
had
are
none.
talking about the annual budget, too.
Yeah, yep. Last year it was pretty popular. So, are we gonna keep the one on the 23rd? That's after absentee ballots, and then
Do the 23rd and the 5th.
the
But
5th.
you can't do it after the ballot.
Yeah, the
You've got to
5th
get
is
your
fine.
information before the ballot.
Yeah,
You can do one before absentee ballots go out, and then you could certainly do one later.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
They kind of just, you're doing a second one. I don't think you're gonna get them both in before absentee ballots.
I would think you
You're at
want
least
to
offering the information
get it
before.
all done before any of the ballots go out, period.
so do we wanna do, I mean, and this is basically up to if SRCTV can even do it.
That's true. You should really give me 3 dates.
So, do we wanna try for, I do remember Tuesdays are out of,
It's a different town night.
it's a different town night. So do we wanna try for the 5th? Ask for the 5th of February.
At least there's something on the 7th.
I have a credit card bill due on the 7th, that's it.
That's your problem.
And my day job, yeah.
Try the 5th, 7th, and 12th.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so 5th, 7th, and 12th. And hopefully they'll get an answer by next week.
Yeah, Patrick's pretty good.
Okay, thank you. So we will get those done, or requested. Next on new business is discussion of email concerning Emma's Way. Stan briefly talked about this, talking about putting it on the June ballot for the town to absorb Emma's Way as part of the road, as part of a town road. Francis and Catherine Carroll are requesting that the town accept it as a gift. They've met with the road commissioner, and it's up to town road standards. Okay? So they're just requesting that gets put on the June ballot. If that is something we want to do, so we have some time to think about that.
Question, doesn't the town just accept roads when they're up to par and everything? Why would it be a gift?
You have to have a deed.
Okay. But don't they just accept it? You know, I just don't know why the
It's not automatic.
No, the town, if everything's up to par and everything has to be, then the town will accept it as a road like they did the dog road.
They can accept
and
it
they
or
did all
reject
the-
it. It's
Yeah,
up for a vote.
right. But I mean, I don't understand why it would be a gift. Would the town just accept it, get the deed and be done? You know, it's like a donation or something, I don't.
Yeah, I know what you're saying,
I've
yeah.
never heard of gifting it before. Well, if it makes you
Yeah,
happy.
ending, but, you know.
Yeah, I can certainly look into that.
Was it the scenic overlook a gift to the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but was the dog road? You know, when we
No.
just accepted several new roads
The
recently.
dog road is basically a discontinued county road.
Okay, that's been reopened, okay.
And I think, yeah, they may, I don't hold me to this, I think they could have already be owned by the town, and we accepted it as part of winter maintenance again.
Gotcha.
I think
That was
that's
what
the
they got
most
voted
recent.
on,
Gotcha.
yeah, winter
Okay,
Yeah.
it's just kinda, you know, the gift part, I'm thinking, you know, okay.
Everything's super confusing. All right. Next on the agenda is discussion of ordinance for exhibit of financial reports. So this is an ordinance that was written and proposed to the select board to see if the town will vote to adopt the ordinance exhibit financial reports, which requires a treasurer to produce weekly and quarterly financial reports, to transmit such reports to the select board, and to exhibit such reports on the town's website, all as set forth in the proposed ordinance available at the town clerk's office and posted on the town's website.
Isn't that already in the policy?
We have a policy, yep.
This is an ordinance. You need to put it on the ballot. You're going
This would need to be, yeah, this would need to be put on the ballot. We do have a policy in place now that is getting close to starting to be followed, I think. But from my communication, there was some miscommunication about when the policy was effective. So they assumed that the policy became effective January 1st. So we should know by next week if the policy is working. And under my assumption is that an ordinance has more standing than a policy. They're required to do it because it's part of the town, is where a policy is also part of the, a select board. Yeah, and the thing with policy versus ordinances is policies can be changed by the select board at any time, and ordinances have to go to town vote to be changed. So this is just the, basically the same thing as the policy. Look at that, Howard, it's just me and you. Well, in March,
It would be in March, because this
in
would go
March,
to
it'll just be
vote.
me and you.
Wade, unless Wade is running.
And three others.
And three others, that to be determined.
Wade's not listening.
So I guess, is there a motion to put this on the warrant?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Was that a motion?
Yep.
Okay. A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, so that will go on the ballot. Job descriptions for the deputy positions. This is a copy of them from the town charter.
I don't know if our
From when they wrote it, I think.
current, like, we can share these with our current tax collector, town clerk, if you'd like, get their opinions, maybe tweak it, and then
I think that would be great.
decide, you know, they know these jobs more than anybody. And then bring it back and have a discussion in January when we'd like to
Sounds good
put
to
it
me.
out.
I'm too damn late to read.
Hey, we haven't adjourned the meeting yet. I think that would be great if you could reach out to them, Alicia, and get their input.
Okay.
send that to them. I think we're all in agreement, so. That is all I have for new business. Nobody has resigned this week. We have not appointed anybody this week. Any discussion of agenda items?
You would consider this for the warrant and the budget for 2026.
How, you didn't get one?
Is that the one you gave me?
Yes,
Okay.
I needed one to even remember what's down here. Shall the, okay. If you look at this piece of paper I gave you, Article 17, 18, 23, and 25 was on the March warrant of March 14th, 2025. There was some incorrect wording, and nothing was transferred into the capital reserve account to fund these 4 articles. These 4 articles were voted in the affirmative by the citizens of Limerick. So the article would read, shall the town vote to transfer $138,000 from the unassigned account to fund 3, which is capital reserve, titled on the general ledger, account 524 capital reserve account. Transferring the $138,000 will provide funding for the following articles that I just read. I would put a note on it because you need to tell the voters why. A warrant article was inadvertently not presented to the voters to transfer $138,000 from unassigned on 3/14/25, and I would have your recommendations. The 524 is a bucket of all monies that can go in for capital. So Alicia's comment about the property sales, which I'm hearing is substantial money, will go into this account because of the housekeeping articles that you read tonight. So that money will be there then. Some kind of plan over time will transfer them out to a specific project. So everything else in that fund, this is a main account, 524, and then different articles are written for projects. But all 4 of these were approved. The rest of the information I gave you, it's not part of the article, shows what was done in our accounting system, and it now is at $110,000 negative, which means it has to be that balance debit. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But they need to be funded.
What's the 138,000 for?
For those 4 articles.
What's the articles?
One was SCBA devices, it spells it out in this, SCBA devices for the fire department, paving and utility improvements at the municipal building, project for a second egress, and playground and picnic pavilion at the ball field. Yeah. You'd see that if you went to the warrant. It's on the landing page of the, yep. So it's just a correction in effect, but you need to do it because monies have already been spent. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. So I hope you'll consider it, and the Budget Committee will approve it too.
Is there any other discussion of agenda items? I'm seeing none. I have no correspondence to share. I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.